Okay, so let's talk for a couple of minutes about estate planning. It's one of the main areas of law that we practice here at Morris Law Group. I'm a certified specialist in trusts and estates. The main idea behind estate planning is really very simple. It's to make sure that your stuff goes where you want it to go as quickly and cheaply as possible after you're gone. Now, when you look at your estate planning options, you basically have three options. Your first is the option that most people choose, unfortunately, which is to do nothing. About 60% of people who pass away in the state of California do so without having any estate plan at all. Now, what we always tell clients is if you don't have a plan, the state's got a plan for you. And they call that plan the intestacy laws. The idea behind the intestacy laws is that it's a default set of rules for what the state thinks you'd want to have happen with your stuff after you're gone. And they're pretty straightforward. If you're a married couple and everything you own is community property, then when one of you passes away, the community property is going to go over to the surviving spouse. If there's no surviving spouse, it's going to go down to the kids. If there are no kids, well, that's where things start to get a little bit goofy. So the intestacy laws serve as a backstop. Now, your second option is to do a will. Now, the easiest way to look at a will is that a will is a letter of instructions. And the idea is that it lets you make a customized plan for what you'd like to have happen with your stuff. It lets you opt out of the intestacy regime. It lets you put conditions on gifts. Let's say you didn't want to leave everything to your kids. Maybe you want to leave something to your church or to a charity or your parents or a friend. There aren't really any provisions for those kinds of things in the intestacy laws, but in a will, you can make provisions for all of those kinds of things.